uncomfortable or feel that, you know, there's a problem, particularly when it comes to your major. If you, for example, if you want to be an architect and you want to get a degree in architecture, don't come to CSUB. We don't have it, right? Go to a school that has your major. So as we go through this presentation for CSUB, please write down your questions, and I will take any and all questions afterwards. Shouldn't take us too long to get through it. So let me do a share screen right here, and we'll get started. All right, Deacon, can you confirm you see the CSU Bakersfield screen? All right, thank you. All right, so CSU Bakersfield. All right, so here's CSUB at a glance. You see 90% of our students receive some form of financial aid. You see our popular majors there: biology, business, criminal justice, nursing, liberal studies, psychology. Nursing has the asterisk there because nursing is the only impacted program that we have. And so what that means as far as a major being impacted, and particularly with nursing, you first, of course, get admitted into the university. That's the first process. But then nursing has its own selection process that you have to go through. And nursing is impacted anywhere in the state of California, whether you go to a university or a community college. Our motto, Runners on the Rise. We are a Division I athletic program. And you see some of the awards that we have there on the right-hand side of the screen. Our online nursing program is actually number 3 in the state of California. And our traditional program is number 5 in the state of California. So if you're interested in nursing, CSUB is an excellent choice. We also have some awards with regards to being top public schools and being a top affordable school. So you're definitely in the right place in terms of getting the best bang for your buck, so to speak, for an institution. So here's our university profile. We have about 11,000 students that go to the university. Now 9,000 attend the campus in Bakersfield. The other 2,000 go to our extended campus, which is in Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster area. It sits on the same property as Antelope Valley College. So students that go there traditionally, they attend Antelope Valley College and then go right to our extension campus there. We have a total of 36 bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, credentials, as well as a doctorate. We're on a semester system, which should be what you are experiencing at the university. So let's go through some of our majors. All right, so School of Arts and Humanities. So this is where you do art, English, modern languages, philosophy, theater, any of those degree programs there, you are in the School of Arts and Humanities. School of Business and Public Administration. All right, so this is, of course, our business degree. So accounting, management, finance, marketing, economics, agricultural business. And CSUB gets the highest accreditation for a business school anywhere in the country. So business is also a very, very good option in coming to CSUB. All right, School of Natural Sciences, Mathematics, and Engineering. So this, of course, is our STEM degrees. So biology, computer science, electrical engineering, mathematics, nursing, physics. And most of the students that actually attend CSUB is getting a STEM major. And let me also point out at this time that many of our degree programs have concentrations or tracks. So for example, our electrical engineering program has a robotics track. Engineering sciences, you can do engineering management or petroleum engineer. I don't know if you guys know how much petroleum engineers make, but right out of college, they make like $100,000 plus. All right, now that's at the high end. Don't get too excited about everybody getting a BA. Doesn't make that right away. But petroleum engineers, yes, they will come out of college making $100,000 a year. Also, degree programs like mathematics, you can do statistics or teaching math. And not only here in the STEM majors. For example, if you wanted to major in communications, you would have options in either journalism, public media, or digital media. I mean, public affairs or digital media. And then lastly, here's the School of Social Science and Education. So anthropology, criminal justice, political science, psychology, kinesiology. So probably our top two most popular majors on campus probably fluctuate between liberal studies and psychology. Liberal studies being the premier degree to get for people that want to be teachers, particularly K through 6. And then psychology is an excellent base for counseling. All right, student life. CSUB has over 100 clubs and organizations, and we highly encourage you to get involved outside of the classroom, simply because you establish connections and can learn many good things for you that helps you out in the long run by getting involved with clubs and organizations. So please make sure you do that when you get to the university. We've been given permission to expand our union, and the only thing that's holding us up is the COVID situation. But as soon as we get a little bit more out of the weeds with regards to that, we'll be able to expand our union, which will provide more space for students in general. All right, Student Recreation Center. All right, so we have a state-of-the-art recreation center with almost anything and everything you can think of. We have a rock wall, we have free weights, weight machines, all the aerobic type style machines you can think of, an indoor running track, indoor basketball and volleyball. We even have personal trainers that are available to help you with your workout session. So no need to have a membership at like 24-hour fitness or body exchange. You have a full-scale facility right on your campus, and it is free for students. All right, on-campus housing. You definitely want to take advantage of housing. We'll get to a policy that particularly affects you, but first, just know that we have a full-scale facility. It is less than 5 years old, very, very nice. And in fact, there's cool amenities, and definitely cool amenities that was different than when I was in school. For example, our laundry area. When I was in school, if you forgot about your laundry, when you came back, it was either gone, moved, or messed with somehow, some way, right? But now we have a system to where when your laundry is done washing or drying, the system will email you or text you to come get your clothes. So that's pretty cool. All right, so here's a requirement that definitely affects you. We have a new policy. It's been in effect about 2 years now that says that if you are coming to us and you live as a first-time freshman, and you live more than 30 miles away from the university, you are required to live on campus your first year. That is petitionable. So if those of you that might have some family in Bakersfield and you want to petition.
Don't worry about that. They're living on campus.
Okay. And actually this is to your benefit. There has been many studies shown that students that live on campus have a greater retention rate as well as a greater graduation rate. And that's because you have all of your resources available to you right there at the university. So you want to make sure that you get your spot. You see the different floor plans there. The 1s, 2s, and 3s refer to the type of contract you may have, whether that be a single contract or a double contract or a triple contract, which really refers to how many people may be in the room that you sleep in. And then lastly, 2 quick things about the floor plans. You may notice there are no bathrooms. How the bathroom works, it's not a community bathroom, but how the bathroom works is that the bathroom is right across the hall from your front door. So the same key that gets you into your apartment gets you into the bathroom, and only the people that's in the apartment with you have access to that same bathroom. And then lastly, we have no kitchens in the unit, so meal plans are required. And on campus, we have a variety of food services. We have our main area called the Runner Cafe, but we also have Starbucks on campus. We have Which on campus, which is a deli, and then we also have Panda. All right, her athletic profile, again, we are Division I. We used to be in the WAC conference. We are now have stepped up to the Big West Conference. So we are stepped up into a higher conference of competition. And that was due to the success that we had in the WAC conference. You see the picture there of the men's basketball team that particular year. We won our conference championship and was invited to the NIT tournament. The guys made it to the Final Four, got to play in Madison Square Garden. It was a really big deal. And I think either that same year or the year after, the women won volleyball conference championship. So, but now we're in the Big West Conference. Haven't had that much of an opportunity to really transition because of COVID, but this upcoming year for many of the sports, we are back in person and looking to continue on our athletic success. And then also please note that all home games for all sports are free for students to attend. All right, so here's some of our campus resources. We want to make sure that you have resources that's designed to help you while you're at school. Some of these sources all students can take advantage of, but others are demographic specific. So with regards to all students, our Student Health Center, Writing Resource Center, Academic Advising Center, Career Center, Tutoring Center, and Advising Center. So all those are available. But we also have centers such as the Veteran Success Center, which is designed for military and their families, as well as Guardian Scholars, which is designed for foster youth. All right, here's the cost of attendance. There has been some adjustment, but it's pretty much the same. But for the most part, you all want to make sure that you are applying for financial aid, whether that be grants, loans, or work study. Also be applying for scholarships. Go to websites like scholarships.com, put in your information. They will email you viable scholarship opportunities. And I'm also sure that Deacon Wilson can be a great resource for you with regards to scholarships. So please take advantage of that. You want to, again, maximize your financial resources when it comes to paying for college. Some other sources we have on campus, we do have scholarships that are available just for CSUB students. So for you graduating seniors, come January 1, if you go to the financial aid website for CSUB, there is a link there that you would apply one application. We will identify which scholarships you are available, that we have that you are available for. We also have a food pantry on campus. This is pretty cool. It's open to all the community on campus, faculty, staff, and students. Once a week, you're allowed to go to the food pantry and you will get free food, whether that be boxed food, canned food, or fresh produce from local area farms. All right, so let's go over the admission requirements. This is what it takes for you to get admitted into CSUB. Of course, you're going to graduate high school. You're going to finish the A through G courses. I'm sure you're familiar with that. I'll put those up on the screen in a moment. In all your A through G classes, you have to get a C or better, and then a 2.5 GPA in those A through G courses. That is it. If you can complete that, and I'm sure most of you will exceed that, but if you complete that and you apply to CSUB, you will get a letter of admission. And you see down at the bottom there that says we are not impacted. That's why these minimum requirements work. And what impaction means when it comes to the California State University system, that means that there's more students trying to get into that particular institution than what the university has an opportunity to offer a space to. So case in point, one of the more impacted campuses in your area would be like a Cal State Fullerton, a Cal State Long Beach. In fact, I remember Long Beach one year received 80,000 applications, right? So even if all 80,000 students were eligible, there's no way that they can admit all those students. So what do? They increase the minimum requirements. And in most cases, that would be the GPA. So there is no standard, all right? So if you are interested in applying to campuses such as San Diego State, Fullerton, Long Beach, Pomona, San Bernardino, San Marcos, Northridge, Sonoma, San Jose State,
even LA,
all of these,
even LA
yep, Cal State LA. All of these campuses are now impacted, and so the GPA cutoff will vary. You'll need to contact them or speak to one of their college reps to find out what that GPA cutoff is. If I recall correctly, one year, for example, San Diego State was a 3.5. Okay, so if you didn't have a 3.5, their initial decision was going to be a denial. All right, all those decisions are petitionable. All right, you can go through an admissions process if you so desired, but if you don't meet that minimum requirement based upon their impacted status, they're always going to be a denial first. So what does that mean for you? What that means for you, you have to implement a strategy to maximize your opportunities for college admission. Therefore, you want to make sure that you are applying to campuses in the CSU system that are not impacted, meaning that campuses you know that you've met the requirement for and you will get in. So some of those campuses that are not impacted, At least they claim not to be impacted. Cal State, Dominguez Hills, Channel Islands, Bakersfield, Fresno.
You just kicked me off.
Will not be
Right.
impacted. Also, Stanislaus, Humboldt, San Francisco State. These are all campuses that are not impacted. So if you apply to those campuses and you meet these requirements, you will get a letter of admission. All right, so here are those A through G courses. You should be familiar with these already. You need to make sure that you're finishing these requirements by the end of your senior year. If you want to make sure of that, there's a variety of ways you can do that. Check with your counselors to verify. If you want, send me a copy of your transcript. I will go through it and verify that you've met the minimum requirements as well. But there is no leeway here with regards to regular admission, okay? So these are the requirements. Again, just verify that you're on track to complete them, get those C's or better. And you want to make sure that you finish strong, graduating seniors. Don't get senioritis just because a counselor told you you're going to graduate and then you skate for your final semester. All right. Because again, you have to get a C or better. Doesn't matter how high your GPA is. All right. When I was at Channel Islands, we actually had a student. They were admitted. They went through orientation. And they were a nursing student at that, and they messed around. And when their final transcript came in, their last semester of English was a D. All right, and their GPA was still above a 3.0. Guess what? The university took away her admission. Now, fortunately for her, her school was willing to let her retake the English final. Now, that was that school. It also was a private school. Most schools will not do that for you. All right. So you cannot trust that if you mess up, you can go back, oh, can I retake the final to improve my grade? No, you need to finish strong. You need to put it down the way you have been and strive for academic excellence, get that B or better, and finish out your classes. All right, so let's say for whatever reason you say, you know what, I don't want to go to a university straight out of high school. I want to go to a community college first. That is a perfect way to still get your college education. What would you need to do? These are those requirements. You have to complete 60 transferable units, which is at least 20 classes at 3 units each, an overall GPA of at least a 2.0. And then there's 4 classes you have to take: math, English, critical thinking, and speech. Those 4 classes, you must get a C or better, and then overall GPA, again, of at least a 2.0. And these, again, are the minimum requirements. There are some Cal States, not the majority, but there are some that are impacted for transfer students. And if so, they will raise that minimum requirement. You will meet more than the 2.0. All right, so graduating seniors, here's some application information for you for fall 2022 period has already began. We started October 1st, so we're kind of midway through that process. For CSUB this year, we have extended the deadline to December 15th. A lot of Cal States have done that because of the COVID situation. However, there are some that are going back to our traditional deadline of November 30th. And it really, the breakdown is really between the more impacted Cal States and the ones that are not. The ones that are not impacted are extending to December 15th. The ones that are impacted are closing down on November 30th. So this is what you should do. Give yourself a personal deadline to get your applications in by Thanksgiving. All right. If you do that, then you will meet the deadline for any Cal State that you're applying to in the system. While you are applying, the system will automatically identify whether or not you are eligible for the fee waiver. If you are, you can apply to 4 Cal States for free. Once you apply to the 5th Cal State, or if you don't qualify for the fee waiver, the cost for the application fee is $70, okay? $70 per application, all right? So if you identify 4 schools you want to apply to, and you do not get the fee waiver, that's $280. Okay, just want you to understand that. It's not $70 for one-time use of the application system. All right, $70 per campus. And at this time, let me address an issue. Let me back up here just a little bit. Notice that in the admission requirements, there is no mention of the SAT or the ACT. All right, this is kind of still a new thing. The CSU system and the UC system actually are no longer using the SAT or the ACT scores to determine your admissibility. Okay, now that is not me telling you or saying that you shouldn't take the SAT. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that we will no longer use the scores as one of the determining factors to admit you. Now, if you take it and you send us the scores, can we still use them? Yes, but we will use them to place you in math or English. All right, we'll use them as a placement type of test. That's the only way that we're going to use them. But also, one of the things you all should consider is if you are applying to a private school or if you're applying to a school out of state, it is possible that those schools may still require the SAT or ACT. Please contact them to verify and make sure.
Hey,
But again,
word for word, you sound like me.
What's that, sir?
Word for word, you sounded like me.
Well,
so we do SAT prep for that reason still.
Yeah, definitely. Now, one of the things though, which is also interesting, I just found this out tonight. College Board is no longer offering the SAT subject test. So the SAT 2 subject test, they are no longer offering that. So it's just the SAT 1 that they offer. But again, if you take those tests and you submit those scores to the Cal State system, we will not use it to admit you, but we will use it to place you in math or English. And that's because the CSU system has a policy that all entering first-time freshmen must take a math class and an English class in their first term. Now, that being said, let's say you don't take the SAT, you're still admitted. Can we still place you in math and English? Yes, we will utilize your transcript, look at the math and English courses that you took, look at the grades that you received, and still be able to place you in the appropriate math and or English class. All right. Oh, we're going backwards. Let me go forward. All right. Yeah, so again, get your applications in. Again, for CSUB, you have until December 15th. But again, if you're applying to some other Cal States, particularly the impacted ones, please make sure you get them in by Thanksgiving or that December 30th deadline. November 30th deadline. All right, so here's kind of a timeline of what to expect throughout the application and enrollment process. Again, you're going to start off October 1st is when the filing begins. That is also the date where you can submit your financial aid, your free application for federal student aid. Now, the FAFSA is not due until March 2nd, but it is in your best interest to get it in sooner than later. And then all throughout this process, please note that we are going to be contacting you via email. All right, so make sure that you put the right email address down. I don't know if you've noticed on the keyboard, but the letter O and the number 0 is very close together and they look a lot alike. So you want to make sure that you are hitting all the right keys, because in the event that we start getting bounce backs from our applicants, we are not going to take the time to figure out why we're getting a bounce back. Okay, so if you have not heard back from universities within 2 to 3 weeks of you applying, you need to contact them. It might be that they don't have the right email address and they're trying to send you stuff, but it's not getting through. So make sure that you pay attention to that. Also, most institutions, or at least I know with the California State University system, they're going to email you and ask you to open and start a student portal for CSUB. It is My CSUB. That portal, you can monitor your admission status. All right. On that portal, we actually developed a to-do list. And when we put something on that list for you to do, that's exactly what we're saying. Please do it. All right. It's important. If we didn't need it or we didn't want you to do something, we wouldn't put it on the to-do list. So please monitor the emails, monitor your portals, and you should do just fine. All right, so here is just some resources that are available through my office and my website. We are also giving, even in this COVID situation, we are giving in-person tours. So if you all want to come up, whether it be a group or individual, you just call us, make an appointment, and we will still provide you with an in-person tour following proper COVID guidelines.
Like we'll hit you up in January.
Yeah, no problem, Deacon. Please do. And I highly encourage that you go around to as many universities as possible, particularly the ones that you're thinking about applying to, because it will make a difference. I like to give two examples with one of my sons, Jeremiah. He was a very, very high performing student. The 4 point whatever, and he actually got a letter from Harvard inviting him to apply. And so, of course, as a dad, I was getting all, prideful and all that kind of stuff as a father. And so he tells me, I'm not going to Harvard. And I'm like, you haven't even applied yet, man. What's going on? He says, I'm not going to a school where it snows. All right. That was his thing. He's never lived in the snow. And he didn't want to be in that type of environment. So that's important for you all to consider. The physical aspects of where you will be going for a particular school, right? Because if you've been in Southern California your whole life, you don't know nothing about floods. You don't know nothing about tornadoes. You might know something about earthquakes, but they're so infrequent. Some of you haven't even really experienced that yet, not a big one. So all that could be a factor. Visiting is important. My son, he was in a program that was taking him from this area in Bakersfield up to UC Berkeley, and it was kind of like a pipeline. And I thought he was going to get used to going to UC Berkeley. He says, "No, I'm not going to go to UC Berkeley." I'm like, "Why?" He said, "I don't like the way it looked." I'm like, okay. I mean, if that's really a factor to you, then yeah. So he ended up applying to San Jose State, Long Beach, Fullerton, and San Diego. All really impacted campuses for the Cal State system. He also thought about Pomona, as well as what other institution? I forget the other one. But we did a little, California trip and tried to identify whatever campus he wanted to go to. And because of the tour and what they did, he ended up at Cal State Fullerton. And that's where he is right now. When we went there, they rolled out the red carpet for him. They didn't give us a walking tour. They drove us around in a cart. They fed him. They gave him all this swag. They made him feel like he was wanted. They even put his name and picture up on a big screen, all to woo him. And
oh, man.
It worked. And that's where he is. So go to the campuses, visit them, try to get a feel that, hey, this is where you want to go. All right, and here are just some general contact information that's available on my campus. Please go to our website. Let me go back to it here. Hold on 1 second. Wrong way. So right there, csub.edu/outreach. I'll put that in the chat, but go there because there's additional resources that are available to you via online as it pertains to CSUB. All right, so I'm gonna do a stop share here and let's get into some questions that you may have, not only about CSUB, but maybe about the admission requirements or about going to college in general. This is your opportunity. Please speak.
I have a question. I don't know if this is something that you know, but as far as like majors go, do you know if you have like a city planning, urban development major?
Right. I don't think we have that option. I'm gonna look that up real fast. That's a good question. No one has ever asked me that question about CSUB because it's not out there, in writing. But I'm thinking that in our
Urban
geography
studies,
area,
studies,
but I will look that up real quick. Urban
Maybe
studies.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think we have that type of concentration. However, I do know that the only campus that's coming to my mind, I'm sure there's plenty that have it, but the only campus that's coming to mind that I know has it is Northridge. All right, so there's a question.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. there's a question in the chat that says, how impacted are the online degrees? Well, you know what? I don't know if we really want to consider online degrees impacted. I think what happens is that the departments simply limit how many people do the online programs, and they just stop admitting once they get their group. So that's kind of like an impaction, but usually when programs are impacted, there's like competition to get in there. We don't have competition with our online programs, even when it comes to our nursing program, because you already have to be an RN, have your associate's degree to do our online program. So we have more of an opportunity to let more students do that because it's online. At least at CSUB, the programs that we have that are online would not be considered impacted. Maybe at another institution, but not CSUB. Additionally, the online programs that we have are not through, how can I explain this without taking too long? We put it this way, we have, when it comes to some of our programs, we have what's called stateside programs, and then we have what's called non-stateside. Non-stateside programs are not, we don't receive money from the state of California to put it on. So those programs are a little bit more expensive because we have to charge the student a little bit more money because we're not getting support from the state. All of our full online programs run through our College of Extended Education. So it's still CSUB, but separate in terms of how the money gets processed that you pay in order to do that program. So we have an online program in communications. We have an online program in business, as well as nursing and some other programs. But let me also say this to you, that most traditional four-year institutions do not have a lot of online programs where every single thing you take is all online. There are some, but that's kind of a new thing that's still trying to really get in going good with a lot of your traditional institutions. So if you're going to go to a traditional institution, aside from the COVID situation, you should prepare to be in person.
I have a question.
Yes.
So my daughter is very interested in going to Cal State Northridge because we live near the campus, and I spoke to Mr. Wilson about it several weeks ago. By the way, I haven't followed up with you, Mr. Wilson, but I will. I had a none.
I still love you, you know that.
Thank you. I appreciate the love. I really do, because I need it. Thank you. So if my daughter, she doesn't want to move away from home. She's my youngest, 1 out of 3. My son is at Brown, and my daughter got a degree from Howard. So they're fine and settled, but my youngest wants to stay local. And I know that's an impacted school. And
wait, what high school is this?
She's in Granada Hills Charter.
It's not impact, she'll be okay, but go ahead.
She'll be okay. And that was my
degree,
question.
what major?
She wants to study marketing or finance.
Oh, yeah, might be a tiny bit of impact. Yeah.
Right. So my question is, when she applies, should she apply undecided, or should she focus it on what she wants to study currently?
Either way would be fine. I would go ahead and have her identify the major. She won't be denied simply because of applying for a major that might be impacted. And other than nursing, in most cases, when a particular major is impacted, all that means is that the university is going to say, okay, here are some classes probably within that major that you need to take first. And as long as you get a certain GPA in those classes, then we'll let you become that actual major. So like when I used to work at Northridge, I was an academic advisor. That's how they did psychology. So all the students had to take intro to psych, stats, and one other class, those 3 classes. And as long as their GPA was a 3.0 or higher within those 3 classes, they went from pre-psychology to just being psychology. And it was automatic. They flipped it on the back end for students. They didn't have to do anything. But that was how they managed the numbers. Now, and that's different than nursing, because nursing does it a little bit differently. There's still additional classes that has to be taken, but it's more competitive. They only have room for a certain amount. So now they just take the top students who get the highest points in all the areas that they want them to complete before they start taking nursing courses. So that level of impaction is a little bit more tight. I don't think other impacted majors do that the same way at Cal State Northridge. So yes, business might be impacted, but as long as she does well academically, she should be able to go on through without a problem.
Sounds good. And I have one more question regarding transcripts. Are the official transcripts due now, or can she go based on her unofficial and then submit her officials when it's time later?
Okay, so when it comes to the Cal State schools, what's going to happen is, if you recall, when you apply, students have to put all of the classes and the grades on the application. And so the only thing that would be missing, of course, is the senior year, but you still put the classes taken, and for the first semester you indicate in progress, second semester you indicate planned. And so most of us have what's called an automatic evaluation system, to where a system's going to run, and if it looks like the student will be eligible based upon what's put on the application, that's what generates an admission. Now, if the computer can't make a decision, then the institution says, we need more information, send us your most updated transcript. Now, the transcript that they want, however, is the 7th semester transcript. It'll be the transcript that has all the grades on it through the first semester of the senior year. Most institutions will take that transcript and make a decision at that point. Anytime the universities ask you to send something, always send it official. All right. If you were to send something to me, you can just send it unofficial. But to the university, for them to track, record it, put it in their system, always make it official.
Okay, but that shouldn't stop us from applying, right?
Oh, no, ma'am. Go ahead and apply. What you want to do is you want to apply and then wait for the response of the university. They may provide additional instructions, such as, we need to update a transcript.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Why don't you get a hold of me and we'll get you started there pretty quick.
Yes, I am going to need your.
You know how to get me, right?
I do. Thank you.
Hit me up. I'm just working down here in my North Long Beach office. Keep me busy. Don't laugh at me.
Okay. Absolutely. We need your help, so we are going to keep you busy.
Okay, all right.
You're going to regret saying that.
That's why I have Quinn and Christina here, though.
Thank you, everybody. And before I go, Mr. Riggins, thank you so much for this information session. It was really helpful, and I didn't even know there was a Cal State University in Berkeley and Bakersfield.
So, yeah. You know, I really think that Bakersfield is one of those sleeper campuses. It's, you know, people don't really know about it, or they stay away from it. I mean, because I know the reality. The reality is, you know, once you're in Bakersfield, if you go anywhere, if you leave, it takes you 2 hours in any direction before you get to anything else. So there is some level of isolation. However, you know, having lived in the LA area, the only thing that Bakersfield doesn't have that LA has is probably a beach. That would really be the only difference. And just to give you all an idea of just how far away it is, if you've ever been to Magic Mountain or passed by Magic Mountain, we're 1 hour north of Magic Mountain going up 5. Okay.
And because you have other attendees here, I want to share a story. Cal State Monterey Bay is similar to CSUB. So my son went to Cal State Monterey Bay. It was the only university that accepted my son because he barely made it out of high school. This is the same son that is now at Brown. And the reason why that happened is because the classroom sizes were smaller. The professors were able to dedicate more time to him. He went from wanting to be a business student to computer science, and he's just blowing everybody away. But because he had that special attention, classroom sizes were smaller, had direct contact with the professor. So, and then the campus was fairly new, the dorms. So it was a wonderful experience for him. And he's very grateful to Cal State Monterey Bay because he is far more successful than his peers who went to larger schools, to your point, Mr. Wilson. So I just wanted to share that. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing.
I think that's probably the secret, Brother Darius, in our study. That study surprised us, how our Bakersfield students are doing so well in life. That may be one of the secrets, the smallness and the attention. They got to have a special professor that took an interest in them. That a lot of them say that.
Yeah,
And-
I hear those type of success stories all the time
Yeah.
when it comes to CSU Bakersfield as well. And let me also emphasize something to you all, to all the students that's on the call. From one perspective, it doesn't necessarily matter where you go to school when it comes to your bachelor's degree. The bachelor's degree is a foundation. It represents something that you can build on. So as long as you're going to a good accredited institution, you should be fine. And let me illustrate this. Let me see. If I may, let me pick on two students. Is Clarence Harmon a student?
Is Clarence here?
No, Clarence Harmon is a parent.
okay.
Your son there? No. Okay.
Who are two students that are on the call?
I know Jillian's here.
Okay, Jillian and one other student. Is there one?
Jan, are you here? Jan? Oh, Kendra, is your daughter here?
My daughter's not here. She's
Oh, I
in the
see her
room
on the
doing,
call. Okay.
no, that's my mom.
Oh, it's your mother. Oh, all right.
Okay, I'll just use Jillian and myself. All right, so Jillian, I have a question for you. What elementary school did you go to?
I went to Valley Christian Elementary School.
Valley Christian. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I went to an elementary school on a military base. I forget the name, but it was a military base. So we went to two different elementary schools. What is 2 + 2?
4.
All right. And I know that 2 + 2 is 4 too. All right. So what's my point? My point is that we went to two different schools, but we know what 2 + 2 is. Why? Because math is math. Chemistry is chemistry. Psychology is psychology. There is no difference in those disciplines at that level. At the undergraduate, you study the exact same stuff. You might even have the exact same book. You're definitely going to study
Often.
the same foundation, the philosophers, all the people that made up whatever discipline that you are studying. It's going to be the same thing no matter what university. So if I'm an employer and I'm trying to decide who I'm going to hire, and one person went to, let's say, Stanford, all right, great recognized school, and another student went to Bakersfield, same degree, but the person that went to Stanford graduated with a 2.7, and the person who went to Bakersfield graduated with a 3.8. Who am I going to hire? I'm going to hire the 3.8 because they learned their craft better. All right. So it's more important for you to do well where you go than where you just happen to go. And so you want to make sure that you take some of that into consideration, because I know a lot of people that go to all these big name schools for whatever type of superficial reasons. And when they get there, something happens and they're just not happy or something, and they may have been better off staying close, or they may have been better off at a school where when they walk into the classroom, there's no more than 20, maybe 30 students versus a classroom and there's 200, 300 students. So, all those type of things you want to take in consideration. And again, wherever you go, do well there.
Good. All right. I told you he was the bomb. He is. He's a great, he's one of my gurus, CSU, when I go to you and what's the lady over at Northridge now?
Gigi?
Gigi.
Yeah.
All my gurus, you know that, right?
Yeah. And actually, it's interesting. Gigi is the reason why I went to Northridge.
I know that story. And I didn't know that story until 4 years ago.
Yeah.
She talked about you, yeah. All right, so we really appreciate you coming. parents and students that were here and are here. We remind you that we do, as a partner of CSU, work with students on their applications. We can help you get started, do a lot of good support work for you to make sure your student opens the portals up and all that kind of stuff. So get in touch with me for sure. Could you, Quinn or somebody, throw my email address in there? Holy Thinkers. You guys know our website, and we have a YouTube channel. Just email me. I'll be glad to send you that. You can always go to look at I've done over 100 videos now. There are a lot of them on CSU. But Darius, I want to say we appreciate you, my brother. We hope to see you in January. With those that are admitted, we'll bring them up to see the school. And so think about that too, parents. We are going to get back into traveling to the schools. I just came back from our first trip in 19 months a few days ago. And I'll be doing some more traveling real soon. All right, got Sister Karen. See, there's Sister Karen. Say hi, Sister Karen. Say hi, Sister Karen. Take off your mic. Oh, you're just going to wave. All right. Well, she's my my expert chaperone there, as she knows about you.
Hey.
You might have met her on a trip.
You.
So we're going to be back on the road again real soon. All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Deacon, for inviting me. Anytime you need me, of course, you just need to call me, text me. I'll be there for you. And hopefully we can do this again in person next year.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Or even, you know, if your supervisors or whatever allow for in-person presentations, just give me a call and I'll come right now.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
sir. Good night,
you.
Hopefully
everybody.
Dr. Riggins
Thank
next
you very
year.
much. Hopefully,
Dr.
yes, sir. Good night.
Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you very much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. You can hang on. I guess my peeps are gone, huh? All right.
Yeah, they gone. Huh?
Gone. They say, we don't want to talk to Deacon tonight.
Yeah, everybody gone.
That's all right. I talked to them earlier.
I did too. I was doing two. I did another one.
Oh, okay. I was scared. I didn't tell you the Zoom information. You saw me terrified. I emailed you.